is. Did I say it correctly? I'm not saying you have to believe me. Don't believe me. I have a problem. I should have a right knowledge. Now question comes, what is right knowledge? And it is a common sense understanding any knowledge that promotes attachment, any knowledge that promotes passion, any knowledge that promotes craving, any knowledge that puts me into anxiety, like the word you read the article of noise pollution. So the mind started thinking, oh, it is because of the noise pollution I will have a heart attack sooner or later. I will be in anxiety. Come on. We are living in a world. The world for everyone is the same. The tools that we use from the science, including the refrigerator, the science says there should be every refrigerator manufactured should have a noise level below certain decibels that will minimize the noise pollution. So my dear friend, through this refrigerator, which is also causing a noise pollution even though it is very low. Throw out the air conditioner from your home, it is also causing the noise pollution. Throw your TV, any serial that you watch or the news you watch is also causing the noise pollution. Please throw all of them from your house. Don't use the cell phone because the reactive magnetic waves also causes the noise pollution. Are you ready, my friend, to throw them all out? Let the information become the right knowledge. Are you getting it? I'm hammering on the mind. 99% of the information on Google, they are information. We have to testify how. Follow the right knowledge. Read everything and ask yourself, what is the right knowledge? The knowledge that promotes dispassion. The knowledge that gives me the clarity how to live in peace in this world of chaos. We have a noise pollution, we have a water pollution, we have a air pollution, we have a food pollution. Are you ready to leave every kind of pollution to live and exist in this world? Tell me. The mind was polluted, mind was attached, reading the article of noise pollution. Why don't you read about air pollution? Why don't you read about food pollution?
I read because I study with children even at school, all these things.
No, that is why I'm asking you a simple question. So the simple answer, the Eastern wisdom says, what it says, right knowledge. Then right desire, and then the right action. Right knowledge, right desire, and right action. Yes, I appreciate that you read this. You must read this. If you don't read it, the mind will not be open. So whatever you have read it is good in a relative terms. And also it is good for the science. If the science says the refrigerator, the TV, and other electrical and electronic gadgets that we use in the home causes the noise pollution also. You hear a little, very little sound of the refrigerator?
No.
So now you are not paying attention. Pay attention and you will know.
Okay, I will.
TV, which is very clear. Phone, which is very clear. So how the science solved the problem of a noise pollution coming from these gadgets? They say bring down the sound below the range in terms of decibel so that it has a minimum effect of the noise pollution. There is an effect. There is already an effect. But they say bring it down to minimum. My dear friend, minimum. 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 That is what they are saying. But they never say that we can get rid of the noise pollution. Are you clear? Whether it is a noise pollution, whether it is a air pollution, whether it is water pollution. I use that, there is a big plant in my home that purifies the water, softens the water, applying certain chemicals. So when I wanted to know how those chemicals affects my body, and there are certain chemicals which are carcinogenic, cancerous. It is used throughout the world. Now, should I use the water with lot of virus and bacteria and hard water that will upset my stomach in a day or two, that will tear my clothes down, or should I use those chemicals to soften the water and drink it? Science says make a right choice. So I made a right choice. But still it is carcinogenic. The way you have been thinking after reading the article, why don't you think about the impact of the noise coming from football stadium? If you pay the same level of awareness and attention, you contemplate and reflect, first step will be happen that you have a clarity. What is that clarity? My mind is attracted to this noise, not the other noises. It has created a wrong notion that now kids, football stadium, school, opposite my house, all these words create a sentence of the false notion. This is the way Eastern wisdom works. I have told you the Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge. Science is also an instrument of knowledge. Am I teaching you some code, some dogma, some magic? No. The way the science works, I'm also teaching you the way the Eastern wisdom works. Those who follow cult, dogma, belief out of this Eastern wisdom, they are the crazy people. They don't know what they are doing. Similarly, we have a fake science. Similarly, so you see the parallel. It is purely an instrument of knowledge. Science starts with a hypothesis. So it created an archetype of smartphone. That is how we also work. Are you obsessed with the noise, or is your mind ready to contemplate and reflect? Contemplation means you ask the question, why millions of people or thousands of people in your neighborhood, they never complain about this noise except one beautiful woman here? Is it a right question or not? Oh yes, it is a fact. It is a fact that I get upset, not everyone. So when I get upset, it becomes personal. What is that personal? I experience that problem in my mind. So let me check my mind and see if I can change my mind. How simple it is. Write an article on this, where I'm speaking to you and you are being I'm recording this. Do you understand? Simple knowledge. Now, competition between obsession and the knowledge. My mind obsession and the right knowledge.
Yes. So nobody of my neighbors, none of my neighbors is obsessed. That is right.
I like it.
But
can you keep that in your mind? This is the right knowledge based on facts.
Yes, but the thing is that their houses are further from it. They don't hear any noise at home.
Yes.
And when they visit me, they also tell me that they don't know how I am surviving in such conditions.
Yes.
The same when some people like my friends, when they visit me, they say the same.
Yeah. So now they are asking you how you are surviving with that knowledge. Are you ready to contemplate on this question and reflect on it? Or you simply accept this information and then get more obsessed with the noise? How simple it is. I like it. Let us go from there. If you don't think, if you don't ask the question to your mind, what will happen? The obsession will take over the right knowledge. Every neighbor told you that you remember what I'm telling you, you don't remember.
I do remember.
When you remember, then see that the right knowledge must win. How simple it is. Based on clarity. Based on clarity. I wanted to give you very intense, but now the mood is not there, but we will take it up. So 3 principles. Right knowledge follows the right desire, follows the right action. How we follow that? 4 steps. First step, learning the principles with the clarity. Second step, contemplation means asking all kinds of questions, good, bad, high, low. Why? To want to know the truth of the thing. And then reflection. Reflections means now the intellect is purified. I have a doubt-free mind. Means I have a correct knowledge. The moment you have a correct and the right knowledge, what is going to happen? That intellect inspires you to do the practice without break. And I have already noticed the doubtful mind when you say, whenever I have a time, I do the practice. The intellect is so much inspired and motivated that you don't leave the practice, you find the time for it. I had already noted your entire mental frame when you shared your feedback and experiences. I need not to think too much about you. Anything is expressed comes from the mind and the intellect. Any statement is made from the mind and the intellect based on the impressions. If the impressions belongs to the right knowledge, the right thing will come. Last week I had this wonderful, beautiful woman like you. She also more or less having the same problem which you have. She did the practice. She said, I got it, and I was so happy. When you say from your experience, I got it. I reached home. She also reached home and she texted me. I entered into the house. My daughter was dancing with a deafening noise of a rock and roll music. My mind wanted to get upset. The next moment, my mind asked me, who am I? And that anxiety disappeared completely. And then she wrote to me, haha, I got it. I said, this is the state I want you to get in. What is the principle? You have a choice to be dictated by everything outside. You have a choice not to be influenced by anything outside. Then she wrote me the same word. I said, you remember the principle. You see, just by remembering the principle, the noise of the deafening noise continued. And then she texted me again. I didn't say anything to my daughter. Otherwise, I used to fight with her. Leave my house if you want to dance with that deafening noise. Now I was very calm. I went into my room. I was still listening the same noise, but I did not have any anxiety. I was not angry. I did not have any reaction. I made a cup of coffee. I sat down. I drank it. Noise continued even for an hour, and my daughter was surprised. Are you okay? Daughter was asking the mom. Why? Because the daughter met with a conflict and a reaction every time. That is the state we can reach. And it is within us. So now see, I'm pinpointing you that the moment any noise comes, am I ready to contemplate? No, I don't have time. So the mind is asking an excuse, I don't have time, obsession versus the right knowledge. It doesn't want to do. It doesn't want to follow the right. what is right. It claims if the noise is there, nothing is right. That is all. That is my life. I want to tell you something that you have to pay attention today. It is very important. I wanted to tell you after I was thinking that you should have some awakening like this women. But now the time has come because you get carried away by the information after reading an article and mind gets obsessed. You will be surprised to know about your mind that it is the impression of anxiety that associates itself with the noise and you fall into anxiety. It has nothing to do with the noise outside. The root cause is lying in your mind. Now I'm going further. Because your mind manifested that anxiety and a reaction with reference to the noise, that state will continue even if you live far away from the school. Change your house, change your job. That reaction to the sound will be replaced by something else. That is the root of the problem. It is not the noise outside. As long as your mind is reacting to this noise, the reactive mind will remain present whether you change the house, whether you change your job, whether you start living in the Himalayas, or whether you start living in the forest. Fact is that I can react to one thing, I can respond to one thing. It is an ability of the mind. It is a capacity of the mind. It is the power of the mind. The second thing I'm not going to tell you, you have to explore. What is the cause of that, root cause of that impression that is causing the anxiety? Because if I tell you, you won't believe, you will say, get lost. I know it. No, I will not tell you. I think, your mind may be saying, no, I will not react. Because that cause is unknown to your mind. So the first step is the impression to be anxious based on some outer event that triggers is the first cause. My master used to say, and many people say, oh, I have a lot of stress and I'm going on a vacation for 2 weeks once I return. I said, my dear friend, don't take your head on vacation. The garbage that you have kept in your head. Then go on vacation. Everything will be all right. But if you go on vacation with the same head full of garbage, nothing will happen. Nothing is going to happen. And then they return, they said, you are right. I said, I know. It is a fact. And then I smiled and told him that you know what it means by vacation. The English word to vacate. What to vacate? You cannot vacate your body. You vacate your brain and mind from the garbage. You switch on to a new and a fresh life with the right knowledge. No, I started thinking about my wife, who caused me a lot of problem. I said, that is why you went on vacation. You should have paid me $3,000 you spent on vacation to me. I should have emptied your head. So I told you the first part of it. Second part is there. And every time we meet, I realize, should I tell? And I said no. So I told you the first part. If my brain has created a pathway to be in anxiety, to be reactive, that is the true thing. The mind says noise is responsible, but the brain pathways is already there. You leave this house, change the job, go somewhere else, go into the forest, find another job where there is no football stadium. That root cause will trigger by another event and you will have an anxiety. Because it has started the process. Now it knows. So your mind will pick up something else. And when it picks up something else, then you say, who knows, I have been living in anxiety and stress for the last many years. There is no way. The mind now knows it will pull up the brain pathways, habitual pathway, to get triggered by another event. It may not be noise. I tell you frankly. Now, what is the right knowledge? Listen to this tape. I wanted to give you intense practice, but not this time. I'll give you next week. Any problem, any suffering in life is a grace by existence. It is an opportunity to evolve. It is an opportunity to rise above these problems. That is the very nature of the human mind. Getting obsessed with anything is an animal mind. A beautiful two-legged human being has in possession of animal mind. What is animal mind? One example. You have a pet dog, you give him the bread, and his tail is moving. Means? Okay. Now bring the stick. Show him the stick. He goes little far away, and from far away he looks at you. You show him the bread, he will start running after you. I can bet you. Then again tail is moving. Show him the stick and throw. He barks, goes far away, and ready to repeat the same thing. Show him the bread. That was a Russian Pavlov experiment. Learn from even the science. That is the animal mind. Now, instead of a dog, do it with a 15 or 16-year-old boy. Get lost. You have given him the bread and now say, get lost. No, hold on. Listen to me. He will not listen to you. I'm going. What is the meaning? we have an intellect to make a choice to drop that obsession. When the intellect is polluted by the wrong notion, which is more dangerous than the noise pollution. Are you listening?
Yes.
When this mind is obsessed by the wrong notion, which is more dangerous than the noise pollution, we do not think. We simply say, I understand, I am clear, but we don't ask the question, why? Because the obsession is taking over the mind. It doesn't want to listen. Question is, what should I do? I should ask the question. That is the way. 4 steps. I learn the principle. I should contemplate. I should come on mind. Mind, you are listening the noise. I want to ask you a question. Until you start thinking and asking the question, finding the answer, the obsession will continue. I'm simply saying, forget about everything. Can you break this obsession created by the wrong notion by thinking? Sitting and closing eyes, I'm listening to the noise. Rather, you create a deafening noise. Open the volume of a television, and the volume should be at peak. Okay, mind, let me know. Is the noise attacking you? Is the noise attacking you? Okay, let me see that. No, it is the interpretation of you, interpretation by the mind that the noise is attacking me. Noise is same for everyone. No, but I feel stress. I feel squeezing effect in my head. Science says we are sensitive to the noise. We say the mind is obsessed with the noise. You need not to do a job of a teacher. Answer me after thinking. Don't answer me for the sake of answering. I'm going to ask you a question. No change in the house, no change in the school, but your job is no more. Why? I gave you $1 million on a condition that you continue to live in the same house. I can bet you that your mind doesn't want to leave the house. And the noise will be replaced by pleasure of having $1 million. See, those are the true facts of, because the human mind is obsessed with certain things of material pleasure, of material wealth in the modern world today, that it can replace a greater pain with a greater pleasure. They continue to remain same. Their mind will remain the same. A survey was conducted in USA, about 60 people over 50 years who won a lottery of 10 million or more than $10 million. They found that 99% became poor and the beggar. Why? Mind was the same. Mind remained the same. Are you getting it? You find out this survey, 99% of those people became beggar. They earned 10 million, 20 million, 50 million, 150 million, 300 million. Mind remains same. You react to me and I remain calm. Who is better of the two? Who is better of the two? How simple it is to answer. We know the answer. But in the society outside, the obsession is taken over by the ego, and the ego says, how dare you are abusing me. Coming back to the same principle, the right knowledge follows the right desire, not precedes, and the right desire follows the right action. Simple principle. Am I affected, impacted by anything outside? The problem with the right knowledge, right desire, and right action. The solution will be the first step to know the principles as it is. As a human being, do I have a power not to be dictated by anything outside? Yes. I want to use it? Yes. How to use it? Let me start contemplating, asking the questions. Follow the facts and the truth. Let me create a doubt-free intellect. Once you have a doubt-free intellect, by the second step of contemplation and reflection, you need not to even do anything. The intellect will inspire you to follow the practice. Oh, I have that practice. What my student says, I was totally upset when I went to the party. No one was paying attention to me. I came back home and I remembered the principle that your mind cannot be dictated and influenced by anything outside. I realized it was the egocentric approach. I wanted to be recognized in that party when no one was paying attention to me. And I did the practice of release the stress and purify the mind. And I realized this is how the life makes me crazy, because of the wrong notion. Because I don't experience the peace inside, that is why my mind is looking for peace outside, and hence I recognize that if I go into the party, she stopped going to the party. She is very selective now. And now I told her that when you have a time, ask your mind, are you getting obsessed to go to the party? Then don't go. But your mind is clear and you are ready to play in that party, not seeking any kind of recognition. Your mind is very clear that you should not take more than 1 or 2 glasses of wine, or you simply refuse it. Then your mind is clear that you are going to play your role in a social gathering. And I told her, third thing, that rehearse how many people are coming. Rehearse in your mind how you are going to praise and appreciate those people, and then see the result. She appreciated almost everyone, the 10 people in a party. She came back home and she wrote to me, ha ha ha. I was living like a free bird. I was enjoying. And I realized how other people are seeking prestige, recognition, appreciation. But I did not. Why? Because I was in peace inside. either appreciation or a reaction. Again, I'm stressing, pay attention, ask your mind, hammer your mind, what is right knowledge, what is right desire, what is right action. So right action here means first the practice. Oh, obsessed mind, I have to do the practice. My mind was obsessed for 5 hours today. I have to find the time. When I can find the time, when the intellect is doubt-free, it will naturally inspire you. The human intellect will give you a thought. When you are in a school, you realize the mind is obsessed, it is bringing in the same thinking pattern, and the intellect says, okay, the moment I go to my home, the first thing that I will do is to clear this garbage first by doing the practice and check it. You are on the right path. Am I saying something, anything related to cult, dogma, belief, magic, religion?
No.
I'm just talking of a common sense. Eastern wisdom is a common sense knowledge. Don't go even to, the big scientist and Einstein, and it's a common sense knowledge. What is the challenge? The common sense knowledge can only be applied by a human mind. It cannot be applied by animal mind. I've already given an example of a dog. So check if it is an animal mind, it goes, it returns, it goes, it returns, it goes, obsessed, and it finds again an obsession with the bread. In your case, that bread is a noise. No, sorry, I'm not saying that you're animal, I'm saying mind.
Okay, I understand.
Mind is animal. I should not get carried away by this animal mind. When the animal mind carries me, animal mind will always dictate me. You go to the mall and the store, and you can realize that a kind of an obsession. Oh, this is a food store, chicken. I like chicken. Animal mind throws an idea to have a chicken, to have a taste and the color. Oh, I will be very good. Then what is the expression? Oh, what a great food. Food is food. There is nothing great or... Food is food. Food is to feed your body. Food is to feed your body, to survive the body. Simple. Now another right knowledge. No, I have the resources. Mind, no more obsession. Let me eat my chicken. For example, maintain your awareness. Enjoy the food so that no more impression is created to strengthen the obsession. You are okay. Next day, what you eat simply the bread and the cheese and you are fine. The mind does not remind you of the obsession. Remember the dog. Remember the dog? You hammer with the stick, bark, goes away, looks at you, and the moment he looks at you, say, come on, dear, honey, come on. In America, we also make our dog as honey. That is extreme, I don't want to say anything. You show him the bread, he will certainly return to you. I can bet you. That is the animal mind. How dare animal mind lives in a human frame? Don't you want to challenge it? Don't you want to challenge it? I'm not going deeper, so I don't want to confuse you with other principles, when we go to the root of animal mind versus the human mind, the human mind knows even if madman, even if foolish man has an ability to recognize the human mind. We may claim that this guy is foolish. Now see the human mind there. Will he cross the highway when the traffic is running? No. Will the madman run? Yes. Difference between mad and the foolishness. He may be foolish in giving right interpretation of the things and the people and the relationship, but when it comes to survival, the foolish is not a foolish. Difference between foolish and the mad. And the madness is nothing but I'm making a big statement. Remember, you have to think of it. You have to contemplate. My master used to say, when the mind eats you completely in thinking, in speaking, and action, you are a madman. When you eat this mind, you are an awakened, you are a Buddha. The mind eats you, noise, 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 noise. Now it will come. Now the people have started flocking into the football stadium. I know it. Now today is the match, and now it will happen. The mind is eating you. Do I have an ability to think beside this? Yes. Animals have it? No. I appreciate you read that information, and the noise pollution is a very big problem. Let the political activists, social reformers, and great scientists should solve the problem. You solve your problem. Don't get obsessed. Oh, it is cancerous. Yes. It brings anxiety. Yes. It leads to depression. Yes. Let them solve the problem of a noise pollution. You solve your individual problem by following the path of Eastern wisdom. Am I right or am I wrong? We have air pollution, we have noise pollution, we have food pollution, and we have at least 15, 16 types of pollution. Instead of ozone layer that is depleting, so oxygen cycle is also becoming crazy. So we have the problem of carbon dioxide pollution. 15 different types of pollution, and all these pollution have physical, mental, emotional challenges in the life. We have a divorce pollution. You are lucky you are single. We have a divorce pollution. One woman divorced and she claims that she is happy, but she is still having a lot of depression. So she became my student and she was telling me, I teach everyone, remain single. I said, now you are single, why you have come to me? So I teach, she started teaching divorce pollution. Come on. Look at yourself. Solve your individual problem before becoming a politician to take care of the entire world. No politician solves any problem but makes big promises in any country. That is how they survive. The answer is, do you have a political mind? Drop this mind that is engaged in politics and causing the problem. Regain that individual mind and the intellect.